you can do break even. You could even be profitable on Google Ads. It's just so highly dependent on what's your average deal size, what is your average cost per click, what is your landing page conversion rate. But generally speaking, the way I see capture channels is a way to get initial traction. I always think of them as like keeping the lights on, right? Before you can do something like demand creation, you need to feed your SDR team. You need to have deals coming in. You need people signing up for your product. So to get that initial product market fit, or in terms of traction and like getting early adopters, there's an old saying that if you had to sell a hamburger, start with the people who are hungry. Don't go and try selling a hamburger to like vegans or vegetarians or whoever, right? Like that's going to be a hard sell. They don't even know that. In this case, they don't like meat, so that's a whole other conversation. But so start with capture demand, because that is going to like satisfy your initial interest in terms of giving you that runway where you have deals coming through, right? And you can be very methodical and sensitive in terms of your cost. If you truly understand, for example, your average deal size and your lead to close won rate, then you can figure out your break-even cost per lead. And you can use that as a North Star metric in terms of optimizing on Google search, or even like on Capterra or any of these other capture demand channels. So that way you understand, hey, as long as we keep our average cost per lead lower than our break even, then we're profitable. Or maybe we're willing to accept up to our break even cost per lead. So that way you can make these channels work in the interim. It all depends on how aggressive you are and if you have funding coming up and things like that. But essentially start with capture demand, get activity coming, give you that runway. So now instead of having 100% of your budget on capture demand, now maybe it's only 80%, and then you can free up 20% to start doing long-term efforts of demand creation. So that way you can start to build your brand, build your know, like, and trust in your market. So that way you are less dependent on these capture demand channels, and that it really gives you a lot more runway over the long term.